Pahrump Early Learning Academy, our goal is to provide a complete nurturing environment for the growth and development of the whole child, socially, emotionally, physically, and intellectually. Children are natural explorers and need hands-on experiences to help stimulate their own imaginations. We strive to meet the needs of each individual child at their developmental level through planned activities, plus help each child attain a higher level of achievement. Call 751-5335 for more information.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Half Price Lawyers, the only law firm in Pahrump with a low price guarantee. Located at 41 North Highway 160, Unit 11. Call 400-0000.
Tonight on News 46, the BOCC decides on medical marijuana applicants. New information has been released regarding a fatal accident. And a back-to-school health fair will be held on Saturday. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, July 17th, 2014. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Some heartbreaking news today. A Malaysia Airlines passenger jet crashed in a rebel-controlled area of eastern Ukraine today. The United States has concluded that the plane was shot down, but hasn't pinpointed who was responsible. The Boeing 777 carrying 295 people fell from the sky near the town of Torez in eastern region of Ukraine as it flew at about 33,000 feet on the way from Amsterdam to Malaysia. A radar system saw a surface-to-air missile system turn on and track an aircraft right before the plane went down. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Ukraine's military campaign against the separatists was to blame. There were no survivors. The Board of County Commissioners heard applicants for special use permits for medical marijuana cultivation facilities and dispensaries.
Major announcement that's unique from our application, and that is two of my partners who you probably all know, Tom Saida and Don Trudeau, have bought the building.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Never bought a car from them.
Kind of new faces.
And so that is new because what I turned in was a lease. And since then, so they've been able to purchase the building, and I think that makes a major difference. So we will own it. And since we're going to own the building, we also have some relatively deep pockets here that are going to help with us as far as the construction part on the inside of the building. And we are very different, I think, than everybody else we've heard here today. We've got the dispensary and the cultivation together, but we have done what I call right sizing. And the dispensary is 1,400 square feet. And I did the business plan myself, and I determined how many patients I thought we could see day one, and how we would have to build that patient base and what the patient base would ultimately be, and also how we would serve the other parts of the county. So we look like we're tiny, I think, compared to some other people, but I call it right size. And since now in the cultivation then is 3,800 square feet, which is going to produce more pounds than what we can use in our own dispensary. So the initial rule of thumb is to have some wholesale statewide for the flower and of course the trim, and then service our dispensary, and then that wholesale will decline as our patient base grows. So we really have the grow that's sized for the dispensary, it's sized for the patient base, which we think will be Nye County. Now with Tom and Don buying the building, we also have the ability to expand, and so our expansion plans are to have 5,200 square feet of cultivation when the patient base requires it, and then build 2,000 square feet on the property for a dispensary. Why do I think that we are really going to serve the community well? Is because we've got local partners. 80% of us live in Nevada, 50% live in Nye County that own the business. The other 20% that we bought in is going to make all the difference in our business plan being successful.
One more quick comment, please.
Go ahead, please.
Our current business, and if we're lucky enough to be selected for this new business, would be run the way all businesses are run, and that is fairly, squarely, decently, and by the rules.
Okay.
Compliant.
And News 46 has learned that, in fact, all of those dispensaries, cultivation facilities, and production facilities, of course, will be ran, just like Tom Saida said there, fairly and squarely. And they will provide quite a few jobs here in town for a decent wage, actually. We did learn that the decision was made last night. The dispensaries approved were 5, denied 1. Cultivation facilities approved 13, denied 3. And production facilities approved were 6 and denied 3. So once again, 5 dispensaries, 13 cultivation, and 6 production facilities here in Nye County. And of course, Carrie Sherrill was out there all day yesterday and had it up on our channel 46.3 live all day long. And we'll be putting up some more information on our Facebook as well as our YouTube if you would like to see who actually were named in the approvals. Sheriff Tony DeMeo has issued a release regarding the fatal rollover accident that occurred in the desert near Thousand Air and Plantation. According to Nye County Sheriff Tony DeMeo, the driver and the deceased name involved in the July 12th fatal motor vehicle accident is Lung Adam Cadman Griffin, who is age 22. The cause of the accident appears to be the vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed and the driver unable to control the vehicle. He left the paved and unpaved roadway near Thousand Air and Plantation. Both the driver and the passenger were ejected from the vehicle during its travel west on the BLM managed land. They struck vegetation and mesquite trees, ejecting both occupants. The vehicle rolled into a furrow, injuring the driver, coming to rest on its top side. The vehicle involved was a 1998 Jaguar convertible. The condition of the passenger is unknown at this time. He was taken to UMC Trauma Center with injuries sustained as a result of this accident. News 46 has learned that the fatal accident victim by the name of Adam Griffin has a father who is the leader of an occult which is called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. It's an organization devoted to the study and practice of metaphysics and paranormal activities. It's also known as the Magical Order. That appears to be the reason why that this victim has several aliases. All right, and then you can end it with the... Yeah, there seemed to be a little concern about what the actual name of the victim was. News 46 has also noticed that certain officers who are on paid stress leave have returned back to work at the Nye County Sheriff's Office. We have requested a couple times for the information as to who has returned back to work, and we still have not yet received a reply. We'll keep you posted on that story. When we come back from this break, we'll tell you about a nonprofit that unfortunately is going out of business.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Integrity Taxi. Reliable, safe, and fun. Call Integrity Taxi at 751-1111.
Welcome back to News 46. The owner of Happy Acres, Steve Benson, is in ill health. He's being helped by some wonderful volunteers to move the animals on his property to another nonprofit animal rescue. Today's News 46 went down to Happy Acre on the south end of town to visit Steve.
Happy Acre, since I'm not able to care for him as well and properly, and there are days I can't get out of bed, we're moving from my sanctuary, the animals left here that are non-adoptable, over to All the Same Wild and Tame Sanctuary over on Gills Way, over off Haven Ranch Road. And
You're having some health issues.
yes, I am. Well, I've had the health issues. They're just now coming down to the end. We've known I've had this liver problem. It's just now it's getting to stage 4, and I'm feeling it. You know, it's putting me down.
Sorry to hear that, Steve. I know that you've put your heart and soul into Happy Acre.
I know, Happy Acre, but that's what kept me going and healthy and alive so long. I had stretched out a long time.
How many animals are we talking about that have been moved here?
Okay, the last 8. The horses are gone already. The dogs are still here, but the cats and the birds are gone. Right now, we're going to move an Akita, 2 Shiba Inus, the wolf, the Coyote Shepherd Shar-Pei hybrid, Sammy the dog from hell, the Pit Terrier Pit mix, and the English Mastiff and the Italian Mastiff. I'm having such a bad time with animal separation from going from so many to nothing. I'm trying to hold the Mastiffs with me until I get really, really sick, and I'll have somebody come over and volunteer to take care here and stuff for a little while.
Speaking of volunteers, you got some guys back here helping out. Tell me what that's about.
Well, I was running out of funding, and I asked the county for some information, and I needed some help. And the Nye County Coalition called and said, hey, we hear you needed help, and we're a nonprofit. Can we help? And I said, please do. And so we have 3 nonprofits all helping each other accomplish a goal of doing this, and I just think it's awesome. I'm blown away.
These are guys from Nye Communities Coalition?
Yeah, these are their guys, and they're here to help Happy Acre and all the same wild and tame, and I think it's really great.
So if people want to donate, because I know you guys are both 501c3s, they can go to All the Same Wild and Tame and help out these animals.
Them, or they can go to happyacresanctuary.com, and they can go that way too, because I'm still closing things out and finishing, so that would help, because we still need sand to finish this and some more shade cover, because we're changing and enlarging the compound over there, and leaving a little here till the Mastiffs go.
And we wish Steve the best, and thanks to those gentlemen for helping him out. The Desert View Hospital Back to School Health Fair will be held this Saturday at their location on Lola Lane.
So this weekend we have our 8th annual Back to School Health Fair. It will be held at Desert View Hospital from 9 a.m. to noon. So that's on Saturday, July 19th. We're looking forward to it. We're going to have lots of things available, different organizations from the community, but most importantly, we'll have school supplies that we'll be distributing to everybody. It doesn't matter what your income is. It's first come, first serve basis. We'll also have no cost sports physicals, scoliosis screenings, dental screenings, and vision screenings. So it'll be a lot of good stuff. We have quite a number of vendors. Of course, all of these vendors come out. We don't charge for booths at the health fair. They're somehow all related to children or health in one way or the other. And so we've got everything from Winder Farms, which provides, home delivery service of nutritional items, to, of course, Healthcare Partners will be there doing the sports physicals, and Immunize Nevada and the Southern Nevada Immunization and Health Coalition is there to do the immunizations. And of course, our local people here in town, Dr. Leaks' office is there to do the vision screenings. And then we've got students from UNLV and then a group called Future Smiles doing the dental screening.
So 9 to noon this Saturday?
This Saturday, yep. So, and I just want to say too, if you don't mind, Deanna, I want to thank all the organizations in town that have stepped forward and donated school supplies. The Lions Club just donated 9 boxes of supplies yesterday to us, so we're very grateful for that. Mercier donated quite a bit, as well as Glenn Lerner's office here in town did too. And then a bunch of people from the hospital have gotten together. I just went shopping right before I came here today to load up on school supplies. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of things for people to do. And the Rotary Club, again, this year, as always, will be doing their hot dogs too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
If people want to donate school supplies, can they still do that at this point, or should they wait for the bucket truck?
No, they can. We are going to be pre-bagging the supplies this afternoon. So Wednesday, but we will be more than happy to take any supplies and make use of them, and any supplies that we don't hand out, which usually we hand them all out, but if by chance we have more supplies than we do have students that come through, we take all of those leftover supplies and donate them to the Fill the Bucket Truck event that VEA does.
That, of course, Desert View Hospital's Megan Kowalski. The manager of McDonald's called police after a man pulled a knife on him as he was closing up business on July 4th. The man, James Donnelly, was found hiding inside the business and was asked to leave. At that time, the suspect reportedly pulled a knife on the manager and threatened to kill him. Donnelly left shortly after and was located in the parking lot of the Prump Nugget, yelling and waving the knife. He was promptly taken into custody. On July 6th, police responded to a vehicle sitting in the intersection for over 2 hours with the engine running from approximately 4 a.m. until 6 a.m. on Game Bird and Percheron. Authorities discovered 2 people passed out inside the car, a male identified as Joseph Frank Urban and his passenger, Jennifer Ann McGowan. The 2 appeared lethargic and drowsy when confronted by officers. The report noted that each also had open sores throughout their body and fresh needle track marks consistent with drug use. Methamphetamine was found on their person and inside the vehicle, as well as a hypodermic device. Both were arrested and charged accordingly. We'll come back from this break. We'll have your segment of Turning the Camera Around. Stay tuned.
Prump, are you getting tired of being capped on your internet? Well, not anymore. Wave Direct has no data caps, and with great local customer service, why go anywhere else? 30-day trials are available. Call 775-253-3887.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
In today's Turning the Camera Around, we introduce you to KPVM salesperson Courtney Salmon.
I've only been here since March 31st. March 31st was my first day, but I love it here. It's been almost 4 months that I've been here.
What is your position here at KPVM?
I'm a sales executive, so I go out and try and get people to do advertising, production, commercials, fall festival, you name it, I kind of do it. I really believe in the commercials. I really believe in the product that we do here. KPVM is a fantastic way to promote your business, so I'm really behind it, and I'm actually doing pretty good, especially since this is my first time doing sales or anything like that. So I have been mostly sports oriented in my life. I worked for the newspaper. I did sports articles for the newspaper. I interned at ESPN. I worked for the court system out here. I did work at Mountain Falls. I worked at a golf course in Las Vegas. I worked as a community service representative at the Clark County Shooting Complex. I've kind of done everything. Uh-huh. I have a boyfriend. We've been together a little over a year. We live together on the south side of town. I have 2 older sisters, a little brother. I have 6 nieces and nephews, and both my sisters are married, so yeah, that's most of my family lives back in Wisconsin and in the Midwest. I get here about 8 o'clock in the morning. I do all of my paperwork usually. I make my phone calls. By 11 o'clock, I'm out in the field. I'm either doing appointments, I'm knocking on doors, I'm going and just getting my name out there, trying to build relationships to see, because if people trust me, they're more likely to trust our business. Our biggest concern is that nobody watches. I get that a lot. But what few people realize is that we have at least 28,000 people watching us at any given moment. And that was back in 2010. And based on the Nielsen ratings, that was before we were on DirecTV, before we were on cable, before we were on Dish, which you can get us on all of them now, on every avenue. That is our biggest concern. Another thing they are concerned about is their marketing dollar. How do I know that people are watching? How do I know that I'm spending my money effectively? So the way we try to get around that is by having them in the commercial. That way when they're at Walmart going shopping for their food and stuff like that, we can say, hey, random people will go up to them, I saw you on TV last night. That's a better way for them to track their marketing dollars, so they know they're getting more bang for their buck. Oh, I love Vern and Rhonda. It's a very family-oriented business, and I know that sounds super cliche, but I know I could go to Rhonda or Vern for anything. If I had an issue at home or if I had an issue with family, I know they would do anything they could to help me, and they're very helpful. If I have a question, it's not really, you don't know that by now, it's very sit down and comforting and easy to talk to. You can't grow unless you advertise. People don't know you unless you get your name out there, and that's definitely something. We are the only daily news source in Pahrump. We are the only one that you can go to where it's almost guaranteed that you'll see yourself every single day on television. So it's definitely worth the money, and we have very affordable packages. I mean, we accommodate anybody's budget. So that's definitely something I would promote.
And we are putting those behind-the-scenes segments up on our YouTube, so if you'd like to see them in their entirety, they're quite humorous, actually. You find out a lot about people, especially what you saw in there was the Sheila Wynn political sign. That happens to be Courtney's mom. Noah Began reports in today's Angie's List on summer health tips for your pet.
Now that summer has arrived, our pets are spending more time outdoors, which can put them at risk for fleas and other harmful parasites. The good news is that pet owners can prevent these problems before they start. Your pet's health is the focus of today's Angie's List report.
On the heartworm, each of them get a pill, and on the flea and tick, we put it back here on their shoulder blades.
Joe Kaiser says he knows firsthand the importance of protecting his 2 dogs each month.
Being a volunteer at the Humane Society, I see too many animals with heartworm coming in with fleas and ticks. And I see this and I feel so sorry for them because they're suffering.
Especially during these summer months, preventative care for your pets is really important when it comes to parasites because it's very easy for them to pick up fleas, for example, and the treatment is much more expensive than the preventative maintenance is.
There are 3 common parasites pet owners should be aware of. Fleas are the most common.
It takes about 3 months for a flea egg to develop into a flea adult. So the adults that you're seeing on your pet today are laying eggs that aren't going to hatch for another 3 months.
Fleas can jump up to 2 feet in the air, which makes your 4-legged friend's fur their personal breeding ground.
They can make pets who are allergic to fleas very sick as far as their skin is concerned, and flea allergy dermatitis is one of our most common presenting signs in the spring and summer.
And heads up to indoor cat owners, even if your feline friend never takes a single step outdoors, humans can easily track fleas in from the outdoors.
The important thing to also keep in mind when it comes to pets and parasites is that they don't just impact your pet. For example, I recently heard from a woman that had an indoor cat, and the cat got out one day, came back with fleas. Not only did she have to treat the pet, but she also had to try to rid her home of fleas as well, which is not an easy task.
Heartworms are spread by mosquitoes.
A mosquito will suck blood out of an infected dog or cat, fly over to the neighbor's house, and then take a second blood meal off of that dog or cat and inject the worms into that pet.
Preventing heartworm disease is much easier than treating it. A monthly chewable can help protect your pet from heartworms, but you'll need to obtain a prescription from your vet. Another parasite your pet can pick up from the outdoors is ticks. Vets suggest checking your dog regularly for ticks since they can transmit Lyme disease.
Most of our ticks we find from dogs that aren't necessarily hiking out in wooded areas but are just in their backyard.
There are several effective products on the market today that protect against all 3 of these parasites. To ensure your pet's protection, experts suggest not skipping a dose. Talk to your veterinarian about the best prevention for you and your pet. I'm Noah Began for News 46.
Thanks so much, Noah. And because of time constraints today, we're not going to have your news across Nevada. We will have it on tomorrow night's broadcast, but we are going to join Angela Miles with today's First Business Brief.
This is the First Business Brief for Thursday, July 17th. I'm Angela Miles. Water is becoming almost as precious as gold in California. Residents will now pay a $500 fine for overwatering lawns as a severe drought drags on. It's an unprecedented emergency move as regulators crack down on water usage. BMW is expanding a recall to fix troubled airbags. 1.6 million 3 Series 2000 to 2006 models are being recalled worldwide. Chrysler, Ford, Honda, and Toyota are also repairing airbag inflators made by Japan's Takata Corp. There are 6 reports of airbag ruptures. And legal fees are putting a dent in profits at Bank of America. The bank reported earnings of 19 cents per share compared to 32 cents a year earlier. Excluding legal costs, earnings were 41 cents per share. BAC is offering a $13 billion settlement to the Justice Department. That's the First Business Brief. I'm Angela Miles.
Thanks, Angela. I know it's hot and humid in the studio here. We're going to see what's in store for your weather when we come back from this break with Noah Began.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Thursday, July 17th. Today we had sunny skies with a high of 103 degrees. Your average temperature on this time of year is 105 degrees. Winds were coming from the south-southwest today at 7 miles per hour with gusts up to 11 miles per hour. The UV index today was 11, which is extreme. Humidity was at 18%. Sunrises was at 5:40 this morning, and the record high in 2005 was 116 degrees. Tonight we'll have clear skies with a low of 76 degrees. Your average temperature on this time of year is 81 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 4 miles per hour with gusts up to 10 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 27%. Sunset will be at 8 o'clock. And your record low in 1940 was 62 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 103 degrees and a low of 77 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour with gusts up to 13 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 26%. Sunrise will be at 5:41 a.m. and the UV index will be 11, which is extreme. So make sure you're wearing sunscreen if you go outside. For our 7-day forecast, we'll have a mostly sunny week, though we'll probably be seeing some clouds here over the weekend and again on Tuesday. Your high temperatures will be ranging from 100 degrees to 109 degrees. Pretty hot this week. Make sure you're staying hydrated. And your low temperatures will be ranging from 75 degrees to 82 degrees.
Hey, it looks like it might be a little bit better. I do have to say a little personal thing out there because I'm kind of concerned about the people in town. I need to let you know about a flu that one of our own up here is going through right now. And I haven't really seen a lot of it going around town yet, but this might just be the beginning of it. Darby's been out all week long for the last 3 days with fever, sore throat. It appears to be a strep throat and also a stomach flu at the same time. And I do want to let you guys know about this, mainly because I'm concerned that people need to wash their hands and take care of themselves, because if this is going around, it's a big one. I can tell you that she's been down for 3 days, and usually she'll come to work no matter what's going on, even with this. So please take care of yourselves out there. And if you're going to the store, use the wipes on the shopping cart and everything. I've quarantined her at home so that nobody here will have any days off getting sick from what she has. But I can tell you it is a little concerning as to what this is, and we will be having a follow-up on to the flus going around with our own healthcare partners. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Everyone have a great night out there, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.